evening at... Oh, sorry, last week's instructions, got to be cool. Hi, welcome to another edition of Owlbutcast. And we're going to look, as we said last week, each week we're going to look at a topic in the news that you might have heard and might wonder what it's all about. You wonder what everything's about. Well, yeah, that's true. So, this week, you probably heard the government been talking a lot about inflation, the cost of living, stuff like that. We thought we'd try and explain what that was all about, didn't we? Yeah, because you haven't got the faintest idea. Okay, we're going to make it simple. We're going to make it less than 10 minutes. So here we go. And the first thing we'll talk about is inflation. All inflation is the average change in the price of certain goods and services which are bought by households in United Kingdom. Now, I got it right this week, just. So that is what inflation is. Now, the way it's worked out, it's done by an organisation called ONS, which doesn't stand for Albert's Not Stupid. No, it is actually the Office, and all statistics are, it's a load of figures that you collect and you try and read something into them or compare them with something else. That's what the ONS do. In order to calculate what inflation is, and I'll tell you a little bit more how they come up with a figure, but what they do is they look at about 180,000 different prices for about 700 goods that we all buy. So they find out what those prices are. They must have a very big shopping trolley. Yes, possibly. But that is what they do. Then they compare it to the price last year. So if, for example, and we're not going to worry about the maths, this is not a maths lesson, so we're going to keep it very simple. If last September all these 700 or so goods cost £100 and this September they cost £107, inflation is going up by 7%. 7 of 100, 7%. That's the simple maths. That's all we're going to do. Don't worry about the rest of it. What's the difference between goods and services? Well, goods are something that you can touch, that you can own, that you can actually see, you can feel. They're tangible. That's the word. Tangible. Services are things that are provided, but you can't actually touch them. And the biggest service cost at the moment is energy, so gas and electricity. You can't see that. You can't see your Sky subscription, your Netflix subscription. They might go up. That could contribute to inflation. So inflation compares last year to this year. One of the reasons it's going up so much at the moment is the cost of energy. The cost of gas, the cost of electric. Much of that has come because of the war in Ukraine, because Russia, or we've stopped taking oil or gas from Russia, although United Kingdom didn't actually take much at all, but a lot of Europe did. So that's made all of that more expensive. But then other things are going up as well because of that. So as well as inflation, you may have heard about something called the cost of living. You know what that is, yeah? What is it? It's the cost of living. It is actually. It's just what it says. What it says on the tin, if you can get a tin of cost of living. It's probably gone up in price. But it basically is how much it costs for people to live. So if inflation's going up, the cost of living's going up, how can you, ordinary people, us, yes, well, excluding you actually, but yes, us ordinary people, we ordinary people, don't worry about the grammar, we're not doing grammar lessons either. How can we afford all the things that we need And the answer is two ways. You can either put up salaries so we've got more money, or you can try and bring down inflation. Now, if you put up salaries, let's assume I'm working for Joe Bloggs. Yes, I know I work for me, but it is just an example. Thank you. And I say to Mr. Bloggs, look, I've been working for you for 10 years or so, but I do need a salary rise. Inflation is, as we just said, 7%. It isn't. It's about 10% at the moment in the real world, but we said it was 7%. Could I have 7% more in salary? And Joe Bloggs will say, yeah, okay, I'll do that for you, because he's a nice employer. not like me. Yeah, okay. But in order to do that, Mr. Joe Bloggs has to put up the prices of the things he's selling. Can you see what's happening here? We are beginning to go round in a circle. So he puts his prices up. Other people have to put their prices up. It all rolls on. It's a bit like a large piece of cheese rolling down a hillside somewhere. Or a snowball, actually, thinking about it, is a better example. People don't eat snowballs. Well, no, you're right. Completely forgot what I'm saying now. So everything's increasing. How do you put a stop to it? Well, one way people think is that you can stop people spending so much money. And the way you can control that, they think, is with something called interest rates. Now, interest rates apply to your mortgage, they apply to loans, they apply to loads of things, but they also apply to savings. So if the interest rate is quite low, you will not have to pay so much for your mortgage. You can spend your money where you like because you've got some left, and there's no point saving it because you're not going to get much on it. Interest rates are, if interest rates are, let's say 7%, because I seem to like that number, if you save £100 for a year, at the end of that year you'll have 107, and so on and so forth. But if interest rates are low, you don't get so much. So, if you raise interest rates, the theory is, a lot of theory in this, by the way. Economics is a very strange thing. You never get asked any questions on this, so don't worry, but it might be quite interesting for you. That's all I'm saying. Except I've been talking for about 7 minutes, so I'm saying a bit more than that. But it is a fact that economists, people who deal in economics, have a lot of theories. And unlike other theories, they also have to allow for the fact that humans are involved. And humans don't always do what you think they're going to do. The idea is that if you put up interest rates, say you put them up to 10%, everybody has to spend more on their mortgage, their loan, whatever it is, because they're now charging them more, but they're encouraged to put their money into savings. Now, you and I may sit here and think, but hang on, they won't have any money left because they're just having to pay out more in the mortgage. We may think that. I'm not convinced always that economists do think like that. I hope you found this slightly interesting. Okay, say goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Can we talk about the scarcity of voles in the winter? What do you... Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, right. Thank you.